What's the craziest thing somebody's ever tried to have you write off for them?
Well, we've written off a yacht before, and I would say the best write-off that I was able to do for somebody was helping them write off their jet. We were able to write off a Falcon, and that Falcon I think was like just over $6 million.
Wow!
And
wrote off the whole thing.
We wrote it off underneath 100% bonus depreciation through their through an LLC, and we leased it through their S corporation.
Wow! And how does that work exactly?
They purchased the vehicle through an LLC, so it's a vehicle.
Sure.
You normally, when you're buying jets, you have to put like 40% down payment down on jets. Something I learned. You're either going to go a jet card route, or you can be a fractional owner of a jet, which means multiple individuals all own that jet, or you're going to buy the jet outright and you could finance it. And typically, when you're coming to the table for financing, they want to see that you're coming with 40% down.
Interesting.
So my client came with 40% down. The jet was about, let's just say, $5.5 million. At the time that we took this write-off in 2023, bonus depreciation was at 80%, but for commercial aircrafts, they had a different sliding scale. So in 2023, they were still at 100% depreciation. All residential real estate and everybody else was at 80%. So we were able to claim 100% bonus depreciation that year. He purchased it through an LLC. We created a leasing agreement where he leases it to his S corporation. We updated his S corporation operating agreement, which states that there's a vehicle that's being operated on behalf of the corporation. All of this legality had to be done in order to make sure he was ironclad. And then he had to take delivery of it and go and take business trips.
Yeah.
He was on that plane for a good majority of December when he got it delivered to him, because he got it delivered later in the year in order for him to justify it being 100% business use. And then it also gets chartered a lot. So majority of the time it's being chartered. So unless he's up in the plane for him taking a business trip, it's chartered 100% of the time. In
your opinion, when does it make sense to buy a jet? Does it ever?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, because I am now seeing how important it is as a business owner who has a family, how precious time is. And there becomes a point where a $2 or $5 million jet doesn't matter anymore. Getting home to your daughter or to your son does. Getting home to your wife does.
I like that.
And the reason why some of these entrepreneurs that are floating around 50 million net worth or above start spending money on jets or jet cards is not because that it's not just because the business that they're doing is so important that they have to get to that business destination. It's because their family is so important that they need to get their ass back home. That's what I see.
I like
and
that.
If you ask me, hell yeah, that's important.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
50 million's the number?
I would say 50 million.
In your opinion?
In my mind, I'm telling myself I'm not buying a jet until I at least have a $50 million net worth.
Yeah, 50 million net worth. And then what, at that point, what would you justify? $3 to $5 million jet, probably on the lower end?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I would say like
you're not buying a G550.
No, I would go somewhere around 10% of my net worth. Okay. So I would probably spend around $5 million on a jet.
I like it. Yeah. Tell me about the yacht. I got to know about it.
Yeah, the yacht. We've written off actually a few yachts now. The yacht story really appeals to people because that was such a defining moment for my mom. My mom is really good at helping people win against the IRS. She wanted to become like a criminal lawyer. And she even tried to join the FBI. Like, she has such a dope background. And my mom, when she was growing her business, she got all these really challenging cases because most other CPAs or enrolled agents, when they couldn't figure out something, they would go to this like enrolled agent CPA hotline and like they would contact my mom. And so we would get these customers that would come in with these complex different issues. Well, this one woman came in and she was on $1 million listings and she had purchased a vehicle, and the vehicle was a yacht. She came into our office and she told us she had already visited with other CPAs. She had her tax returns with her. We opened up the returns. She owes $1.1 million to the IRS. It's on the front page of her taxes. We're like, dang.
Yeah.
At least I was. And my mom was just stone cold. My mom's like Neo in the Matrix. Nothing phases her. That being said, she went on to explain why she bought the yacht. She takes out celebrities, she takes out athletes, and it's all in California, in Newport Beach, Laguna Beach. She shows her clients how to buy real estate from the views of the ocean. She's not doing it from just pulling up and doing a normal listing. She does broker previews on the boat, and she had everything documented. Even her captain had a log booklet of everybody that came on, off the boat, chronological order with the date, time, and what the activity was.
Wow.
With that booklet that the captain had, the photos from her being on the boat, the transactions that she did that year, her P&Ls, we went into this audit in our office and brought the IRS down to our office for a field audit. We sat down in the IRS audit. My mom did a majority of the talking, and this was a great learning experience for us. We were able to explain everything to the IRS auditor, her facts, her circumstances, her positioning as $1 million listings. She's a $1 million real estate agent. She lives in Orange County. She speaks on TV. Here's her image. And by the way, code section 162A is the most important tax code. It states that as a business owner, she could take business expenses that are ordinary to her, necessary to her, reasonable to her in the pursuit of income. And the IRS agent looked at my mom, looked at me and said, it is so cool you guys get to work with clients that know Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Because she had photos with them on her boat. And brother, that was the day that I literally had no more fear of the IRS. I realized, bro, the IRS are no different than dentists. They're just there to point out things that you already know. If you're not flossing, you already know that your dentist is going to tell you that the moment you get underneath the dental chair. Are you flossing or not?
Right.
And you hate when they tell it to you, but you know you didn't do it.
Yep.
Or you skipped a dentist appointment. That's you just being a procrastinator over your taxes, which leads to you having mistakes on your tax returns. Or more importantly, bro, you don't brush your teeth twice a day, which means you're not being proactive. You're not being forward thinking. So you never end up getting the tax savings, and the IRS always wins on you.
Right.
This is why people fear the IRS, bro. They don't understand that the IRS is no different than a dental office, bro. They're just there to point out the cavities that you already know you have.
Yeah.
But if you're brushing your teeth twice a day, you're flossing, you're excited to go to the dentist. You know it's just a routine checkup. There's nothing to fear. Here are my receipts. Here are my bank statements. Here's my proof. Yes, I've been brushing twice a day. Yes, I've been flossing. And yes, I've been making sure that I've been getting all the way into the back.
Yeah, totally.
You feel, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, it's a great analogy.
So-
right? If you do what you're supposed to do, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Does not matter. And you should live in fear.
Right. But the people who live in fear, they either don't know what to do.
Yes.
Or they know what to do, but they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And
Or
it's
they've
like-
been told from other people, you should fear the IRS. Make sure you always pay that
Right.
person. You never want to be on the hook with that person.
Right. It's crazy.